Grand Rising, Grand Rising. I had did a video before just now, and when I was looking on my cell phone to make sure that I was live, it said my video was unavailable. And then when I checked, then that's when my video was actually playing. So I'm gonna redo it. Um, I wanted to share some information about nuclear survival tips. Sorry, nuclear survival tips. Um, I was inspired off of a channel called Science Sci Show, SCI Show, SHOW. Let me put that down here. Um, sorry. But yeah, I was doing some research and I just got sick of, I get bored fast. So, yeah, I get bored fast. So I just got tired of watching the same old people. Like, it just, it wasn't suiting my spirit. So I was like, let me fin away. And I ran into this young lady's channel. So before okay, do that, I want to copy and paste her. Well, I said her because that's the face I see. Um, yeah. All right. So we got that. So yeah, she gave some good tips, and the amazing part is in the video, she was saying about the concrete, and my great uncle uh, helped build like certain things in his house, and he also helped build Martin Luther King High School and a couple of other places too. But that's only one place that I know of so far. I get bits and pieces from family members, information and stuff. You know how that is, right? Yeah. But anyway, I want to share my screen. Yeah, I know I don't do videos this early, but I have a busy day today. I have two birthday parties to go to. So yeah. And I am at work. I s- Yeah, I start at 9. So do this video. Okay, so this video is like 6 minutes and some seconds. 6 minutes and some seconds. So wait a minute. Let me mute. But yeah, if something ever happened, I'm running right to that basement. Shut. Anyway, I'll be right back and enjoy the video.
Let's start by saying the odds of a nuclear bomb hitting anywhere near you is very unlikely. But if you're the type of person who always wants to be prepared, it might help to know a little bit about how explosions and radioactivity work. So even though you probably won't need to be hunkering down anytime in the near future, here's a science-based guide on how to ride out a nuclear attack. A nuclear detonation releases a massive amount of energy, and depending on the size of the bomb and how high it is in the atmosphere when it goes off, that energy can affect you even if you're tens of kilometers from the detonation site. The size of nuclear bombs is measured by kilotons, or how many thousands of tons of TNT you'd have to blow up to release the same amount of energy. A 10 kiloton bomb is considered small, way smaller than most of what you'd find in a nuclear arsenal today. Instead, missiles tend to carry medium-sized bombs capable of 100 to 350 kilotons of blast energy. But tests have also been conducted with bombs that are way bigger. One's measured in millions of tons of TNT instead of thousands. These would probably be really hard for anyone to actually use, though. because they're too heavy for long range missiles to carry. So, small to medium blasts are what most government agencies have in mind when they come up with emergency plans. In the seconds after the explosion, the most immediate dangers are the heat and pressure waves that ripple outward, which account for about 85% of the total energy of the blast. Since light travels fastest, the first thing you'd see is a flash. Hopefully, you'd have enough early warning about an incoming missile to get to a shelter before that. Because with the light comes a wave of heat, or thermal radiation, which can cause flash burns if it's absorbed by your clothing and skin. Think instant, severe sunburn. Thermal radiation can be so intense that flash burns would happen up to 3 kilometers from a small 10 kiloton explosion near the ground, in addition to starting fires all around you. For medium-sized bombs, a lot depends on how high in the atmosphere it is when it detonates, and just how big the bomb is. But a 100 kiloton bomb could cause burns up to 10 kilometers or so away. If you did see a flash and avoided the worst of the thermal radiation, you might have a few seconds to protect yourself. Following on the light's heels would be the shockwave created when the rapid expansion of hot gas from the blast rams into the surrounding air molecules. This pressure wave would be traveling at the speed of sound and could cause injuries like ruptured eardrums, but only if you were very close to the blast. And in that case, the heat would be a bigger concern anyways. It's more of a problem a bit further out, because it can rock buildings and other structures. At 5 kilometers from the blast site of a 10 kiloton bomb, for instance, the shockwave could blow out windows with enough force to send glass flying. A 100 kiloton bomb could do that for 10 kilometers, give or take. So the typical advice is, if you see a flash of bright light, stop whatever you're doing and duck for cover, or at least lie face down and cover as much skin as you can. Of course, any bomb produces heat and shockwaves. What sets nuclear explosions apart is that they also release ionizing radiation, energy strong enough to knock electrons out of atoms, which means it can also damage DNA and other molecules in cells. This can lead to illnesses like cancer in the long term, but the short-term danger is acute radiation syndrome. That's what it's called when radiation kills the stem cells that would normally be responsible for replenishing vital cells in your
Now you heard us say acute radiation. You know, that's what the if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Somebody correct me if I am wrong. The CMEs are being released from the sun, and that's giving them that. You know, the people that don't have that much melanin. But if I'm wrong, correct me. But you know, I'm a baby at this, and I'm learning. So yeah, help me out. Oh man. All right, back to the video.
gut, blood, and immune system. The effects of a bomb's ionizing radiation can extend much further because of fallout, the radioactive material lifted by the mushroom cloud, which then rains down after the explosion. One of the tricky things with fallout is that it's hard to tell where it'll go. Winds can carry it for hundreds of kilometers, and the local landscape can also influence where it ends up. So if you were anywhere near the source of the blast, even tens of kilometers away, that fallout means you would really want to get to a good shelter, and fast. The severity would depend on how much radiation you were exposed to and how long you were exposed to it, which is why getting inside is so key. Several different kinds of radiation are emitted from fallout, some of which are more dangerous than others. Beta particles, for example, can burn skin, but they can be stopped by clothing. Gamma rays, on the other hand, can penetrate walls. So the best way to limit your exposure would be to find a basement in a large building made of dense materials like brick or concrete. A few meters of concrete or earth could completely shield you from the gamma rays, which is why the basement would be your best option. But if you couldn't get to a basement, your next best bet would be to move to the center of a building to put as much distance and protection as possible between you and the fallout. You'd also want to remove any contaminated clothing as soon as you could and seal them into a bag. They could have fallout on them even if you can't see it. It would be even better if you could take a shower with soap, but you'd want to be gentle about it. Scrubbing so hard that your skin became irritated or broken could let radioactive particles inside your body, which kind of defeats defeats the purpose of showering. And you'd definitely want to wash your hair, but pass on the conditioner. Conditioners smooth hair by binding together the loose, dead skin cells hair is made of. But in the process, they could trap any fallout particles that might have landed on your head, which also defeats the purpose of showering. Finally, you would need to be prepared to wait and do what's called sheltering in place. That's because radiation levels are highest right after the blast. More than half of all radiation from fallout comes in the first hour, and after one day, 80% of the risk is gone. If you'd only managed to make it to a poor quality shelter, it might be worth it to move to a good quality shelter if one was close enough, like less than 5 minutes away. But you'd run the risk of more radiation exposure if you ventured outside, so it would be a gamble. Once you were in a good shelter, you'd really want to stay there for at least a day, more likely two, before heading for somewhere that's not contaminated. Which means it would be helpful to have a few days' supply of food and water, some soap and clothes, and a radio stashed wherever you'd most likely shelter. Of course, if you're the kind of person preparing for a nuclear attack, you probably already have an emergency disaster kit packed. And again, the odds that you'll need to use this information are really low. But now you know it, just in case. Thanks for watching this episode of SciShow. If you want to know more about what would happen if a nuclear missile was launched, you might like our episode on how we might stop one before it hits.
Well, I wish I could show you guys my phone. It just said unavailable again, but I'm just going to keep on talking because when I played it back, when they did this the first video, it it was playing. So yeah. So I believe she gave some good tips and information. These are things that I was told. Um, well, I was told about the concrete. That's why I was happy we had that in this house because my cousin told me about that. Like if it ever be a nuclear, this is where you go, like in this area right here. And I'm like, so I always remember that as a teenager. I remember that growing up. And the nano something particles or what is it called? I got to get used to these terminologies, these words. Once they're embedded, then it'll be fluent. So my apologies, but sorry. Oh God. But yeah, it does something to their skin. It's already affecting certain people already, and that's sad, you know. But it is what it is, and I just ask that everybody just be safe, just make the best out of you know the time we have here. You know, um, try to do some things that you never done before, or mend some things, or get right within. You know, with yourself. Um, learn some things because I love learning. I'm not a genius, never will be without my 100% capacity. And I'm only using 10% of that. So until then, we don't know. But yeah, I just ran across that video. I thought it was like kind of cool. And what was so amazing is she was young. I mean, she's young, like so I love that too. Um, I don't really get into science like that, but I have been lately. So yeah, and I find it kind of cool. A lot of things I don't understand, but my brain be and my eyes be going like, what? But I still listen, and I try to listen to things. Um, and when I fall asleep, but then I'll wake up and turn it off, and I don't want to listen to too much you know, stuff while I'm asleep. But yeah, but I hope this information was beneficial to you guys. Prepare yourself. I was just telling some girl, some young lady, um, yesterday, because I went to the store to stock up on, emergency stuff. And I was telling her that, oh goodness, I forgot. I had said a lot of things. I forgot that fast. It's early, y'all. I'm sorry. But anywho, I'm just going to go. And I'm glad you guys. Oh, yeah. I told her, I was like, people sitting there and not paying attention. And they act like they don't care, but as soon as they run out of food, they want to eat up their stuff and then think that they're gonna come and freeload off of. I said, I'm gonna tell them no, I'm not doing it. And that's gonna hurt me, somebody like me, because I'm a giver. Once I see the shade, that's it. So I trust me, I didn't done things for people just to get them away from me forever. So so yeah, I'm not doing it. I said, well, if it's somebody that I know had started trying to do that, whether they saved a lot or not, just the fact that they were trying to, then yeah, I'll support that. But somebody that just sat around doing nothing, getting high, partying, worrying about this, that don't even matter, and then think you're gonna come suck up my I don't think so. I bleeded out my own curse word. I don't think so. And I'm to the point in my life where I don't let people try to make me feel bad about not doing something for them, because I've always been doing for people since I was a little girl. I'm talking about 1 years old, 2 years old, you know, giving my little buddy, sharing my candy and all of that kind of stuff, sharing my clothes and all that. So I was groomed into that. You feel me? So I had to learn. And the ancestors said, don't never let nobody make you feel bad about not giving them something. You've been doing this. You breathe to do this. So, you know, I'm not gonna let that make me feel bad, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna look at it like, what? It's either you or me. And me saved up for this. Me did this. So hell no. And I'm talking about family too. I don't give a damn if it's my mother. I'm not playing. You're not going to sit around and not save and contribute to it because you don't believe that it will ever happen. Low frequency, whether it happened or not, still prepare. It's the mindset. Anyway, I'm going to go on that. Oh, the live came back on. Yeah, they must have thought I was a terrorist or something for a second. Yeah, so they let the video go through. That's why I'm glad I kept talking, you know. Thank you for the like. Oh, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I be forgetting to say that stuff. But I do type it, you know. I don't like to keep repeating and saying it. It's like, oh, like I don't know, it's just a little weird to me. But anyway, work on a little package. Whether you the type that's just saving up just first aid kits. Like, you might not have food, but you can bring that to the table, you know, uh trade or whatever with people, like save for something. My gosh, you know, just something, you know, something. Uh the good part about it is I'm in the fashion. Uh so having something to wear, making curtains and all of that, I guess my skills will be tested if it ever came to that, if I'm living, right? If it ever happens. Anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, because my weekend about to be popping, because I'm about to go to two birthday parties. So I am going to have a lot of fun because I'm partying with the Puerto Ricans today. So you know how they party. So I am going to have some fun. I need to because all I do is work anyway. So yeah. But you guys be safe, okay? Talk to you soon. Oh, I'm playing my intro. You got me chopped. I'm like, you got me chopped. Okay, y'all. Until the next video.